Well, I finally gone and done it. Something I should have done a long time ago. I called up a local arborist and asked if they would be so kind as to bring by a truckload of wood chips and dump them right in our driveway. They were more than happy to oblige. They had just been cleaning up trees that day from a bunch that had fallen over from a storm the night before. And it saves them from having to keep all that stuff on their own property. So they'll just come dump it wherever you want it on your property for free. So we got a lot. And they said that they would keep my name and phone number on file for next time if they had some extra they wanted to get rid of. But I told my wife about that, and she said there's not going to be a next time. And I have to agree with her on that because we got way more than we even know what to do with. At least for the next couple of years, we will be able to turn a lot of this into compost, and that will be great. And we'll have to maintain a lot of the paths that we made with this, but still, we're not going to need any for a very long time. I also made sure to ask them exactly what kinds of trees went into making these wood chips, and they said it was all from ash trees. That's good to know. As long as it doesn't contain any black walnut or eucalyptus or English laurel, which I don't think we really have much of that around here in Iowa. Those are all known to release allochemicals which can inhibit plant growth, so you don't want to use them for mulch. Ash is not known for releasing any of these chemicals into the soil, so it's perfectly safe to use. So what are we doing with all these wood chips? Well, you can see I've already laid out some paths all over the yard here. You may remember from a previous video a few weeks ago where I talked about expanding our growing space out into more of the yard here. And I wanted to use wood chips for the paths because, once again, they're free. They're very easy to just lay out wherever you want, and they're natural. They'll help feed the soil. Very good source for that. But just for a comparison, here's what the yard looked like before doing all this, and now you can see what it looks like now. It's actually kind of starting to come to life based on my design there. So I love the idea of using wood chips for these paths because they're all natural, they look great, and over the years, they're only going to improve the soil underneath. As they decompose, they'll improve its structure, increase its fertility. So even if we decide in the future that we want to move these paths and grow right in this spot, we'll know that the soil underneath is going to be absolutely primo for growing just about whatever we want. So as I mentioned in that other video, this whole space is going to be a new spot for growing perennials and self-sowing annuals, things like sweet potatoes, strawberries, comfrey, borage, lupins, whatever we want to put out here. This will be just fantastic to have so much more space for growing things. And of course this will be outside of the fence, and that means rabbits and squirrels and things can come in here. We've also got some Egyptian walking onions and some chives and things that we can interplant here to try to keep them away. But when we get to that point next year, I'll probably sheet mulch this whole area with cardboard first, and then put compost down on top of the cardboard. And then we've got the excess wood chips that will be able to age a bit over the winter. So that way when we can use them for mulch next year, they won't be taking away so much nitrogen. And we can use those for like the perennials and things, and then still some grass clippings and straw and stuff for the annuals. But I'm really excited to get this all set up. It's gonna be just ridiculous. So what else are we doing with these wood chips? Well, we put a couple inches deep around the maple trees in the backyard. We added more to the paths in the main garden. And I put a pretty thick layer all around the raspberries to hopefully give them a better chance at survival next year. I continued the path around the front and the side of the house where sometime in the future we'll be able to set up a gate. I added a lot to our compost pile. And of course, we still have the overflow that we'll be able to keep using for mulch for quite some time. And believe it or not, I still haven't even finished moving the rest of the pile from the driveway. Good Lord, this is gonna take forever. So there you go. that's one way to get a massive amount of wood chips for free. Again, be sure to ask what kinds of trees are going into the wood chips. It's always good to know that. Any of the things that do release allyl chemicals, you can still use those for pads, and they will help to keep the weeds down. But you probably don't want to go mulching with those, especially around things in the nightshade family. They can cause a lot of problems there. So, thanks for watching, and be sure to click the button to subscribe and check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.